Just dusting you off. Hi. It's been a while. Since I've talked to the camera. I'm not sure if I still know how to do this. So I am here with a long form video that nobody has been waiting for, and it is about old Slovenian months. Yes, we currently use the modern version of months, and those are Januar, Februar, Mars, April, Mai, Juni, Juli, August, September, October, November, December. But did you know that Slovenia used to have other names for months, and that is because they were very in tune with the nature and the processes that go on in nature and the seasons and farming and growing food. And so I thought it would be interesting that I tell you how they used to be called and why they used to be called that. So January, which is now Januar, used to be called prosinec. Prosinec comes from the word proso, which is millet, or prositi, which is to ask for. Something along those lines. And that is because January is basically a dead month when it comes to growing food. There's nothing growing in the ground. And so they're all longing for millet, which, by the way, Slovenia has an indigenous version of millet, and it is called sonček, which is a cute way to say sun. Sonce is sun, but sonček would be kind of like a small sun. And millet is actually used today in a lot of dishes, such as porridges and similar. Millet, or proso, is actually very, very healthy for you. It's full of vitamins. It helps your hair grow. It's packed with just nutrients, and it used to be a key component of food of Slovenians. So that's why January used to be called proso. Next, we move on to Februar, which is February, which used to be called svečan. And that comes from the word sveča, which is a candle. And it is because February is still a winter month. The days are very short, so it gets dark very fast. So when people didn't used to have electricity, they would rely on candles, which means that they had to burn through a lot of candles during winter months to, have some source of light on the table when they're eating or sewing. And also candles give a little bit of warmth to the room as well. So that's why it's called svečan. Then we have marec, which is March, and it used to be called sušec. Sušec comes from the word suša, which is dryness. So after all of the winter months of snow, the snow starts to melt, the soil and the ground starts to become dry, which means that it's getting ready for food growth and plant growth and crop growth, etc., etc. And we have April, which is now April, but it used to be mali traven, which is small grass. Trava is grass, and it basically tells you the meaning behind it. It is in April, the grass starts growing, it is spring, things are blooming, but they're not like too crazy yet like they get in May. So it is called mali traven because the grass is still pretty small, but it's already a symbol of growth. And then May, which is Mai right now, used to be velike traven, which is tall grass or big grass, because grass reaches its peak during that time. Then we move on to June, which is Juni, but it used to be rožnik. Rožnik comes from the word roža, which is flower, so that symbolizes just the amount of flowers that grow during June, how everything is blooming, everything blossoms, everything is colorful. It is still the height of spring before it turns into summer, and all in all, I guess the flowers made such impact in Slovenian that they decided that they will name a full month after them. And I think that's really cute. Then we have July, which is right now Juli, but it used to be mali srpan. Mali srpan is small sickle. So during July, you reap with a small sickle, and only the things that are ready to be harvested. So that would be the first harvest of the year. It is usually a smaller quantity, but it already symbolizes the period of abundance, because August, which is right now August, used to be Veliki Srpen. So that would be big sickle, because that is the height of harvest season. A lot of farmers were using different equipment to harvest their crops. Everything is ready to be taken from the garden and chopped up, put into an ice chest or a freezer, whatever you want to call it, or just cook and have for dinner or sell to your neighbor for a cow or something like that. So that's where the name comes from. Then we move on to September, which is September, and it used to be called Kimavets. Kimavets comes from kimania, which is nodding, and it got that name because the branches get heavy with the produce. So apple trees, pear trees, and other trees, they get heavy, so the branches are nodding because they have extra weight. And so it's the time to take those apples and pears from the tree. Then we have October, which is right now October, but it used to be Vinotok, which basically means a stream, a heavy stream of wine. Yes, Slovenians love wine so much that they named an entire freaking month after it. And Vinotok takes the name from the harvesting of grapes, which is usually in October, and then grapes are turned into wine. So that marks the time when vineyards are full of grapes, ready to be harvested, and people start getting very, very funky and quirky. True story. Next we have November, which is called Listopad. And that is personally my favorite, because Listopad comes from Listje is leaves, so it basically says that the leaves are falling. So you can guess why November got the name Listopad, because the leaves fall from the trees, so they look a little naked during that time. Last but not least, we have December, which is December right now, but it used to be called Gruden, and Gruda is basically soil, crumpled soil in a hard form. So Gruda usually happens when the soil is very frozen and very hard and doesn't produce anything. It's usually when the soil gets its winter rest, which is super important in order for it to be fruitful the next year. So that's why December it's called Gruden, because most of the soil was just resting, frozen, and can't really work with it, and temperatures are low and it is cold. So basically these are the old Slovenian names for months. Let me know if you have special names, or if you had special names for months in your country. I know that lots of countries had something along those lines, because people used to be connected to nature and farm activities a lot more than we are now. And obviously current names come from a whole other explanation as well. But I thought it was just very poetic the way Slovenians used to describe the months. And if you had a favorite one, let me know in the comments down below as well. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you want to support this channel, I have a Ko-fi page and I have Patreon. And yeah, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video. By the way, get ready for a lot of festive content in December, because I am traveling to Europe. I'm currently in California, but I haven't made a lot of festive content back home in a very long time, and I haven't spent December back home in quite a while, so I'm looking forward to just get as festive as possible, do all the festivities, like all day long. I just want it to be festive. So yeah, thanks for your time, and I'll see you in the next one.